sucks that noise. That's all we hear here, noise pollution. Lawn mowing in freaking November. So, no snow, Utah. Calling an airstrike on Blanche. So, Weber State basketball 2021-22 season kicks off. Tipsoff, excuse me. Tipsoff. Gotta go with that left, Jerry Harding. He's on that Czech Republic team. It's like the Bulls of the 90s. Don't lose. So, this team's got more talent deep, and I mean 12 deep. This team has no excuses this year. This team is deep here in the house that GE built. I mean, Utah, the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate built. Damian Lillard didn't build shit here. He lost here. They by 20 points at halftime and lost in the Big Sky Championship. Just a fact. I don't do commentary. So, top 75 player in here. I supported him so much when he played here. Turn your back on me. That's okay. It's okay. The only people that were kind to me and nice to me is when I was sucked up full of them on leukemia. Here. So, this team is loaded. And I mean, got talent. I think it's got the most talent it's had since that 99 team, which was probably the most talented team in the history of this program. That's saying a lot. Justin Thigpen, Willie Sojourner. I always forget about Alan Holmes, but he played downtown in the old Deseret Gym. What a gym. Sojourner played in the Swenson Gym. In this building, the most talent was the 99 team, the great coach, Ron Bagman. He got fired for almost going to the Sweet 16. They lost that game to Florida. I was at that game. I did the play-by-play for that game. And Haslam Miller played in the NBA for about 20 years. So did Eddie Gill. Eddie Gill. The most talented player I ever saw play in this gym, Ruben Nemhart. Eddie Gill. Jerry Cardi. Damian Lillard. So, that team in 99 was talented. They, knocked over North Carolina. I knew they would. They were 7-1 on that. I remember David Locke. Sent to the Wolves, that piece of shit. He's doing the Jazz play-by-play. He's terrible, by the way. So, this season, this team has been a train wreck in the tournament. And Bob Huggins finally agreed with Kevin Blanche, what I've been saying here for years. These conferences get no respect. This Wallace curse. I came out of the bone marrow transplant in 2012. It's almost 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years ago this year. I went to that bracket buster game. They're playing that Texas Arlington team that was so good it was unbelievable. I think it was Lillard's best game he ever played. I was sucked up with my nurse, central line hanging out of me. Bracket buster. Well, they were watching. The NCAA committee was watching. Arnie Farron. He's Ogden. He's Ogden on. Play here, played the U. This national championship in the NBA. Watt Masaka, just first play caller in history of the NBA. Won't you mention their name here? Alan Holmes, 2 national championships. Won't mention his name. Ruben Nemhart, Eddie Gill. Harold the Arsenal Show, Ron Bagman, Dick Motta from Hard Hats, 2 crowns. Phil Johnson. So, it's a curse on this team. It's been, are they ever going to break it? No. I don't know, but this is the year. This team's got so much talent. So I've said for years, they win that bracket buster game. That's, I think, the best game Lillard ever had, and that's saying a lot. They lose the Big Sky Championship to the moment a year before in 2010. I'm doing the play-by-play. The Montana guys are sitting next to me doing play-by-play, packed up at halftime and literally drove home because they were expecting a snowstorm, and they said, this game's over. I wonder how far they got up into Idaho before they said, God, we should have turned around. Up by 20, up by by 15, up by 10. I'll never forget, we were by 5, up by 4. Johnson from Montana. Never missed a field goal, never missed a free throw. I mean, I think it was, 100% from the line of the thing. 2 guys guarding him, 3 guys guarding him. Never did it before, never did it after. Cherry, who came out of the same program as Lillard, was on that team. He was interviewed years later, and he says, I had an out-of-body experience. Oh, boy, I'd never seen anything like it. And I was sitting across from Jordan when he dropped the shot. I mean, I've been to a lot of marquee. I watched Jason Kidd's last game when the Cheeseheads kicked him down the road. I watched Jimmy Valvano cut down the nets in here. I watched Weber State, a 6 seed against a little team named Lamar, come in here. What, a home game? Again, Arnie Farron was head of the committee. The great coach, Neil McCarthy. I love Neil. I loved him. God, he was a great coach. They never recovered in 1980 from that loss. I'm telling you, till Ron Beglin got here. The great Willie Sojourner, they went to the Sweet 16. Justin Thigpen. What a journey. What a journey. What a heartbreaking. I haven't had depth on this team like this since me and Joel talked about it past. I was doing the play-by-play in Florida when 95, when Ruben Nemhart sent Michigan State. The irony of that is Judd Heathcote coached the old Swenson Gym when Weber might have had the best team they ever had. He coached Montana. Knocked him off. Weber paid him back. David Locke still owes me a lot of money. I bet David Locke fucking $1,000. 10-1 he gave me. Because he said they were going to the Wolves, and I says, no, they ain't. He's a moron. We go from Hot Rod Hundley to that. So, of course, we go from, I love Clouky, don't get me wrong. These guys, one heartbreaking loss after another. I did the play-by-play, I didn't do the play-by-play this year, a couple years ago, when Lillard, the alumni tournament, was on 8/24. That was before COVID. Now, think about it. Damian Lillard's alumni tournament, 8/24. Damian, go show him how it's done. He's got a half-court shoot gun. He goes out first shot. Whew. Whoa. Then COVID-19 breaks out. Need a big asterisk stamp on the Lakers winning that. So this whole thing was all fucked up. You know what everything was. This year, the alumni tournament, that tournament was an 8/24. Kobe's 2 numbers. Business move. Jelly Bean Bryant. I watched him play a lot. He wasn't rich. Where's your crown? Where's your crown? I call this Randy Ray's boot camp. I always support Randy because he supported me when I had cancer. He did. He doesn't anymore. Nobody does. Everybody's turned their back on me. This team is deep. They got no excuses. So Bob Huggins comes out, says what Kevin Blanch's been saying for years. So you got the Big Sky tournament. Doesn't even have home court anymore. Of course, like it matters to Weber anyway. They go into that tournament, they got knocked off by Montana again. This team's been horrible in that tournament. I mean, Derek Harding, a freshman, when they were ahead by 7 points with 35 seconds to go just a few years ago, I still don't believe they lost that game. So Huggins says what I said, fuck the NCAA. You know, the NCAA tournament, fuck the NCAA tournament. NIT, remember when the year after Damian left here, his cousin, Barry, what a talent that was. He still is. He's playing in Europe. 13 of these guys are playing in Europe. Tearing it up. Randy Ray's boot camp. X's and O's. He wants to win every game 65. He wants to slugging rats, as he says. Okay. I'm like, cut him loose. Cut him loose. Cut him loose. Let him score 100 a game, because they'll do it. They had that CIT tournament. We were played all the way to the championship game in this house. They played in the championship of that game, April 30th, I believe it was. What? Basketball in almost May here? Well, we had football in spring last year. Those Pirates, East Carolina, Got a buzzer beater on. Beat him. The curse goes on. I was sitting with Eddie Tillman. He's since passed. He played here. What a player. Local. Like Alan Holmes, which is that great Lakers' real father. Mr. Scott. Annabelle. Grandson. He won 2 national championships, that team. Had to hitchhike in the cars to get home from Boise to go to their tournament. Fuck the NCAA. Fuck the NCAA. I've said it. You get to a 15C, 16C, what are you going to do? You're playing all seasons to have a tournament in Boise that no home court, no anything. For what? So why even have a regular season? What are you playing for? Fuck that NCAA. Huggins said what I've been saying for years. The NCAA is a one-way fucking street. Everything for them. The Chick-fil-A halftime free throw, the fucking timeout fucking for the good hands fucking all-state kick. The Dr. Pepper fucking play-by-play. It's fucking grotesque. Give all these athletes permanent health care for life. One player can sell his merchandise. So the quarterback, and it's the same old pyramid from hard hats to crowns. And if you don't understand that hard hats from crowns, Dick Motta coached too. The 1978 Bullets, when they won it, that was their thing. I have one of those Motta's hard hats. By the way, he's an Idaho guy. So is Phil Johnson. Great coach. Ron Begman's from here. I was sitting with President Thompson. I sat with him. I had breakfast with him that morning. You can't really fire this guy. He's the greatest ever coach. For what, you going to fire him for beating North Carolina up there? By the way, the second game, in that game, after that game, was Mad Dog Maddles, who coaches here, playing for Stanford. They were, 1 or 2 in the bracket? Gonzaga knocked them over. I remember Stockton playing in here for Gonzaga. They were a nothing burger until that day, that game in '99. That's changed everything. Stockton lit them up in here and still lost by 24 points. Weaver was that good. Legendary program, but they heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking. When Neil McCarthy lost that game, and they got down by 22 points. This is before the 3-point line. And a little Lamar that nobody had heard of, a guy named Billy Tubbs. Weaver comes all the way back. I believe it was Curve Moore, local, right here. All the way back. Freaking almost made the impossible shot to win it at the buzzer. I watched Valvano cut down the nets here. He died of cancer. Maybe Sampson. I watched Jason Kidd's last high school game in Sacramento. I watched his last NCAA game here. Oh, he was all that. The Cheeseheads knocked him off. Saw a lot of great players here. David Robinson. I go on and on and on and on. This year at the alumni game, John, put 2 right in Lillard's face. Well, I don't think Damian liked it. He did the press conference. He said I wasn't taped up. Lillard was a workout freak here. Beast. Intense beast. Still is intense beast. Unbelievable beast. What he's done is pretty impressive, but he surely isn't the greatest talent that played in this building. They have banners hanging up there for Bruce Collins and Willie Sojourner. They're missing the boat. Watt, Alan Holmes, 2 championships. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Calling an airstrike all day, every day. In a beautiful late fall that will remember. It's disgusting. Everybody's all into that shit. F-35s make me sick. Military industrial war pigs. So, they are loaded. It's the most talent they've had since that 99 team. And that team was that talented. Up all the way down. That good. They should have never Nancy. Tell the tournament to fuck off. Somebody who gets in, Bob Huggins finally agrees with me. He's been around for 100 years. Because the NCAA tournament's out of control. They're one way street. Fuck. So you're going to maybe get in, fluke get in, and maybe be a 16 seed, and maybe get one game. Okay. Why don't somebody organize a real other tournament, an alternative tournament that tells the NCAA to fuck off? Give these players mental health and physical health care for life. All NCAA players. In the name of Trevon Smith. Tell you honor Trevon Smith in that football stadium. The Waters curse is going to go on. The nuclear energy curse. I sit there in the arena today. It opened in 77. They sell tickets for $500 for life for a seat. They expire because I guess life doesn't mean life. Give them 2 months to live. 10 years ago right now. So, River State preview. The nuclear dome. So, got to go with that left, Jerry. The greatest talent I ever saw playing this was Jerry Carney. Second was Ruben Nemhart or Kendall Gill. Or, excuse me. Sorry, Kendall. Eddie Gill. Eddie Gill. Weber State preview. This team's going to be good. We'll see what happens. And one of your teams in the NCAA, tell the NCAA tournament to fuck off. Somebody start a new tournament for these other places so we can actually have a real fall tournament, like the old NIT used to be. You know, somebody needs to start a new one. You know, why not play it right here? Wouldn't it be a great place to have a tournament? We got all these great arena. I mean, it's an incredible arena. It never gets used. It's the most underutilized building in the world. We used to have concerts here. I saw Stevie Nicks snorting cocaine in there. I saw so much. Ian Anderson pitched a no-hitter. He opened this building. I mean, concert after concert after concert. Last concert here, Imagine Dragons played here and dropped a Fukushima banner. They got trouble for it because I asked them to. Radioactive. Radioactive. Break this fucking curse. Get some tomato love. Tomato soup can was invented here in Ogden. American canned. Should do a ceremony tonight, 4-0. McCarthy. His house was rocking when he coached here. The great Eddie Gill, the great Ruben Nemhart. Because those teams won. They won tournament games. Oh, did they win. Great Ronald Baglin. No excuses this year. None. None. This Big Sky will be good. Which I call Big Sky basketball. You might as well put helmets in foot because it's a real sport. It's like football. It's a real sport. It's competitive. It's good. It's a real sport. Not like the professional Kentucky, freaking all that has evolved into. Oh, God, here they come again. All day, every day. No snow, Utah. God, I mean, the nuclear dome. Little Nukie never hurt anyone. Governor Cox says, okay. Fuck the NCAA. Start a new tournament. Bob Huggins agreed with me. Talk about a lot of heartbreaks he had in tournaments. Oh boy.